We go. Hello, everybody. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson joining you as we have continued severe thunderstorms working their way through, and an expansion of storms all the way down into the James and Cheyenne River valleys means more rounds of severe weather making their way towards Grand Forks. In fact, check this out. We had severe storms blast through. I'm hearing tell that the sirens were going off in Grand Forks, and that's likely due to the fact that there were 70-mile-per-hour winds measured with that storm as it worked its way in. That's dangerous wind, folks, and it could be quite dangerous indeed. So you want to make sure that you are in your safe location as these storms move through. Two active warnings to go through right now on either side of the Red River, from Fertile all the way out to the west of Emerado as storms are making their way through. And look at this, another round for Jamestown and Stutsman County where flood warnings, flash flood warnings were earlier in the evening. More rain making its way through. We're going to go over all of it right now. You're watching Hutch's Weather. And here is a word from my
Now, a Hutch's Weather Update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson, brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
All right, everybody, I sure appreciate you putting up with me all these hours. It's been a long overnight, and it continues to be a long morning now as we glide towards your daybreak in the Oakley area, Fosston area, Fertile area. We have thunderstorms working their way through, very heavy rain. A few spots here and there could have hail upwards of 1 inch in diameter. Plummer, Red Lake Falls seeing very heavy rain. In fact, most of Red Lake County seeing heavy rain right now, and it extends south into central parts of Polk County. The update on this warning is the fact that there is that risk for 1 inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts as this storm is moving east at 30 miles per hour. Here is an update on the track of the storm, and this storm basically moving off to the east at that 30-mile-per-hour clip will be near Trail by 6:09 a.m. and Gully by the time we get to around 6:15. There are other areas of this storm, though, that are moving off into and through the Red Lake area, Red Lake Falls area, pushing in towards Brooks right now, just off of and north of the Highway 2 corridor from Erskine, McIntosh. You guys also seeing very heavy rain right now. The main threat from these storms is going to be that gusty straight line wind. We're seeing this backwards C shape moving into Erskine. That tells Hutch that likely in Erskine we're seeing some stronger wind speeds. I'll verify that right now with a quick look at the NexRad Doppler radar look at base velocities. This is very high up in the cloud, but as we take a look in that Erskine area, we're seeing some of those brighter reds motion away from the radar. And again, very high above the ground, but that can mix down to the ground with the heavy rain from these storms that's being produced. Now we have a flash flood warning to let you know about in Crookston. Flash flooding is going on in and around Crookston right now. This warning expires at 9:30, so it is in effect for the next 4 hours as flooding rains have made their way through. To check in on this real quickly, and then we'll get to the storm on the west side of the Red River moving in toward Grand Forks once again for round 2. I'll have details on that. Let's take a look at the rainfall estimates from this line of storms. Storm total precipitation estimates by Doppler radar are very handy because they can see in between the rain gauges that are out there. Now, the rain that was heading through the Thompson area in southern Grand Forks County crossed the Red River, moving into areas of western Polk County, and it has moved through the Fisher area and on towards Crookston. Where you see the blue colors here are some redonkulous amounts of rainfall. This little estimate tool here showing you where the pointer is, that's 2.9 to 3 inches of rain estimated by Doppler radar in western Polk County south of Fisher. In the climax area, radar estimating 1 inch. If you have a question, drop it on the comments here. If you have a report to share, please upload a photo with a picture of your rain gauge and let me know what's fallen in your neck of the woods. Now, in Crookston, some problems there along the river. That's about a 2.1 inch estimate by the Doppler radar. That has prompted flash flood warnings in Crookston this morning. So keep that in mind. Now, the heavy rain also tracked its way through parts of Barnes County, western parts of Cass County, way out there near the Tower City area. These rainfall estimates are between 2.5 and 3 inches of rain. Buffalo, Tower City, and on in towards, I think, Catherine down here in Fingal with some very heavy rain. Look at that, 3.7 inches Yikes, munga. That's a very wet day out there. Now, there's more storms in this area making their way through. So, very heavy rain prompting some flood warnings. Dang, everyone else got real rain, says Jeremy. In the Fargo area, we've gotten rain here. As you look into West Fargo on the west side of town, there's estimates from Doppler radar of around 3/4 of an inch of rain. Here at Hector International, 1/4 of an inch of rain. So, not so much. And a big hole in the rain as we get into northern parts of Clay County near Felton. So, not as much fell there based on Doppler radar accounts. Now, the showers and thunderstorms, look at the rainfall amounts here. We just went through in southern parts of Grand Forks County, and another line of storms is heading your way. A new severe thunderstorm warning for this area. Let's get to the latest on that. Here's a look at the Doppler radar. Hi, everybody. Good morning, Ad Flyberg. Hello, Jeremy. Thanks again for putting up with Hutch's twisted tongue here from several hours of talking about weather. We do have a line of storms making its way toward Larimore right now. Let's go over the warning details. It's warned for radar indicated hail up to 1 inch in diameter. And we're looking at wind gusts. It could once again be around 60 miles per hour. Areas in the path of the storm, Larimore, the Air Force Base, Emerado, also Northwood, Annetta, as well as Petersburg and Arvilla. So that's a look at the storm. Now let's look. There is a leading edge of activity right here with this storm. However, the main line of the event is back a little bit farther. We do have some stout activity moving into Emerado right now in the Highway 2 corridor. That'll be heading in toward the base here shortly and the airport out there. So from Manville to Emerado, stout thunderstorm activity. Let's check out a couple of things here along the leading edge of this Boeing line segment. We get these little segments of outflow showing up on here. Let's see if we've got any velocities showing up, anything of significance. Number one, you do see greens next to reds, but I want to point out that it's all basically showing this linear flow working its way through the region. We do have inflow on the one side of the storm, outflow on the other side of the storm moving toward the radar. But again, along this leading windy edge, we're not seeing anything too concerning here with regards to spin in the storms. And let's take a look at some of these wind velocities that the Doppler radar is measuring moving into the storm. Now, this is going to be across the beam. In other words, the radar can only measure the wind that's coming exactly toward it or along the beam or away from the beam. If the wind happens to be blowing across the beam, then the measurement is just a percentage of, if you will, the actual wind speed. And that's what we're seeing here. Winds are coming from west to east as this storm is moving in that easterly direction. So we can add a component to the wind on top of this. So the wind speeds are going to be enhanced. Likely a 60-mile-per-hour gust is going to be a good possibility. So taking a look at the radar reflectivity once again, the normal radar data, you can see a couple of areas where we got a little bending in the backward C shape here with some of these segments likely causing burps of nasty wind working its way through. From Niagara all the way out towards the Annetta area, these storms are starting to taper off in intensity just a bit. Cooperstown in towards parts of Steele County, we're seeing some showers and storms move through. These are non-severe, not really a hail threat from those at this point of significance, but look at this, Barnes County. Look at this area up here near Page again. It's round number 2 for you at least, as those storms are going to be making their way through. A couple pockets have some sizable hail potential, not severe, but we're talking pennies, maybe a little bit larger from some of these. So Jamestown, more thunderstorms working their way towards your area and through your area from Gackle and Medina, where they were hit hard by storms and very heavy rain earlier today, multiple rounds and a lot of inches of rain as well. In Jamestown right now, as you're getting ready for your day, you're likely hearing the rumbles of thunder. And all the way up toward the airport and the reservoir north of town, we're seeing those showers and thunderstorms once again quite heavy. Pingree, Buchanan, you're seeing another round of strong storms making their way through. The ones on the south side are not severe. The ones on the north side indeed are severe. And the interesting thing is, after all of the analysis that was done in the model runs and all of the things that we looked at together throughout the overnight hours and last night, showed that the risk of severe weather was mainly in the southern counties, not up north, but we definitely have had very stout thunderstorm activity up north. So again, now if you happen to be in the Foston area, very strong storms are just to the north of you, Erskine to Oakley, Brooks, Plummer, up there in Red Lake County. These storms have that backward C shape embedded with the hail, so hail and wind gusts. These wind gusts out here could be quite strong indeed, as a matter of fact, with radar estimates showing up at this. Now, these are, again, way up in the sky, but where you're seeing these bright red colors here, we're looking at 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts being measured by the radar way up high. Down near the surface, that could be enhanced a little bit by the collapsing of these thunderstorm cells. Erskine, pretty good burp of wind heading your way with radar estimates showing 45 to 50 mile per hour winds way up aloft above the ground. Okay, so that's a look at what's going on right now. Let's see if we have any questions. We do have a report, Kathy, saying yes, we're getting rain here. Thank you for your report. And again, we're seeing another round, possibly, Jeremy, of storms for the Southern Valley. But again, the stronger ones right now are up to the north. Models did have the rainfall amounts, a couple of them, a little bit lower down in the Southern Valley here, and that's likely what we're going to see as these storms work their way through right now. So back to the reflectivity we go. Again, thanks to all of you who have uploaded photos. Let me see if I've gotten any more here because we're getting to the morning hours. Oh, yes, we do. Check this out. These thunderstorms have been producing lightning, and that lightning can be frightening. And when that lightning hits the ground, we get lighting up the sky at night. And check out these shots, or this shot here that was just uploaded moments ago. Viewed from South Moorhead. Thanks so very much, Mia, for sharing this view. You can actually see the bolt of lightning not just lighting up the sky. This one's actually making a cloud-to-ground contact, and you can see the housing area there in the background. So those are definitely some stout thunderstorms that have moved through the FM area and around us with greater impacts to our neighbors for sure. Mia, thank you so very much for sharing your photos with me tonight. The wind, the rain, all of it last night that made its way through, causing some significant activity. Here's a look in the Devil's Lake area. Look at the wind blowing the trees, and there in the this particular area, there's some hailstones falling in the grass out there. Again, video of that wind and some hailstones falling in the Devil's Lake area. If you do happen to upload video like that, it's very helpful if you throw on comments and let us know exactly how large that hail was. And did you see this nonsense? Tornadic storm working its way through the Steele area. This is in Kidder County, not right off the interstate there, Interstate 94. And this is basically west of Jamestown, east of the Bismarck area. And it toppled 20 rail cars off of the storm. A pretty good sized tornado based on some of the photos I saw from it. So thanks again for your reports. Yeah, everybody's waking up to some thunder and lightning right now. Not every bit of it is that frightening. And that's what Hutch is here to kind of assure you about. Right now, storms south of Highway 2, not severe. We have a couple of pimples that are pretty strong. They're going to wake you up and you may hear some wind, but they're not severe. But all of this very heavy rain making its way through Polk County now. Another wave is on its way. So we've already got significant rainfall amounts in Crookston causing flooding there. That little green box you see is a flash flood warning for the Crookston area right now going on. And again, thanks B.A. Bittner for sharing stars with Hutch. That sure does help Hutch. And it shows your support. Sharing the good word, if you don't have stars to share with Hutch, is very helpful. It lets people know that Hutch is still here doing the weather. So we do have that continued threat for very gusty winds. These storms blowing through Oakley now, Erskine now, exiting the Brooks area, heading towards Fosston and Winger right now. If you are in Thief River Falls, Goodrich, and St. Hilaire, these storms are non-severe on this side. Very heavy rain. It's likely quite windy as well with these storms at times, causing some gusts of wind to make you aware that there are indeed storms out there. But these storms generally traveling due east as we go through. A few of them will skirt into the southern reaches here of Marshall County. Look at Warren, a nice cluster of storms making their way through, but they are not severe. Likely windy, just exiting out of East Grand Forks. And then here comes the next wave for you folks in Grand Forks. So take a look at the linear measurement on this first wave of storm that's heading its way in towards Grand Forks right now. It's only 10 miles outside of town, moving at 30 miles per hour. So we're talking about a third of an hour, and that thing will be towards you guys. So we're talking 22 minutes there by Hutch's carry the one, and my brain is a little bit too late here, but yeah, that's about 20 minutes away from the downtown part of the I-29 corridor of Grand Forks there, as that system right now is making its way right through the Emerado area. So again, about 10 miles away. And at last measurement, I believe this thing was moving about 30 miles per hour. It is. So 30, 10, yeah, about a third of an hour there for that particular storm. So that's that one there moving into Grand Forks. Now that's the first wave. So you get another wave moving through out of Emerado here in the next 15 to 20 minutes. And then behind that, another cluster of storms working its way towards the Grand Forks area from Larimore. So this one also moving at about 30 miles per hour is about 25 to 30 miles away. So that'll be closer to about 45 minutes to an hour before it makes its way into your neck of the woods with yet more very wet rainfall in these areas. Rainfall amounts have been ridiculous with rainfall estimates over 4 inches in some places. BA says, I'm newer to Minnesota and I found a meteorologist to rely on. Wow, thank you so very much. I do appreciate it. Don't know where you came from, BA, but I'm very honored to be here covering the weather for you. I've been doing it up in the Northern Plains here for the better part of 27 years. Did some research meteorology, taught meteorology in the classroom to college students at Bismarck State College for the better part of 20 years as well. So again, it's a fun job. I sure enjoy talking about the weather and have gained some experience that I hope I can pass on with with regards to what we're seeing. When did sirens go off? I didn't hear them. Ashley Goldaddy, your question, I'm assuming you're asking about Grand Forks. I heard tell that the sirens, some people thought they heard the sirens going off. There was a thunderstorm warning with some thunderstorm wind gusts that were measured, and those wind gusts were measured to be about 70 miles per hour. Let me go ahead and put up the storm reports from the Storm Prediction Center of these storms. Let me see. Here we go. Loading up the local storm reports, and let's go here. So let's see if these puppies pop up. Not seeing many. Getting down into Red Lake Falls. You know, the interesting thing here is I'm asking it to put up the storm reports, and I'm not seeing it. Let's go with show all. Let's see if they show up now. Nope. Something must be awry. Something must be amiss. Let me see if there's something I'm not turning on. Nope, I'm not seeing any of the storm reports from the Storm Prediction Center. That's interesting. All right, I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong here, but again, I do believe there was a 70 mile per hour wind gust that was clocked just outside of the Grand Forks area. As of 5:30, rain in Wahpeton, 6/100ths of an inch. So you guys have gotten skipped by that rain altogether. That's overnight. Lane, thank you for your report, 6/100ths of an inch. What's going on there? Justin, thank you. Mother Nature wants to wake us up indeed. Hutch has really kind of been keeping awake all night here with my water. And trying not to lose my voice because it's pretty much been nonstop through the overnight hours with frequent updates. A little hail cell out here not far from you folks near Montpelier here in southeastern parts of Stutsman County, a couple of cells south of Valley City right now. So little pockets of strong thunderstorms developing down in southeast North Dakota right now. The movement on these, as I put the timeline loop up here for you, you can see are basically individual cells drifting to the north and east. So this cell's heading towards Valley City, as you can see out of Litchfield, Montpelier. The storms are moving up towards the western reaches of Barnes County here. More storms are getting ready and fixing to mosey their way on through the James River Valley in the Jamestown area. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 storms. So you see, this is what we call training of storms. So it's like a train being pulled, the cars being pulled on the tracks. One goes through, another goes through, another goes through. And this can really quickly add to the rainfall amounts that we're getting in some of these areas because of the prolonged period of thunderstorm activity. Look at what's happening in Mayville. It's a train setting up here. Car 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. This cluster of thunderstorms continues to move along. The main wind event heading into Fosston and areas north of there up near the Gully area and Oakley right now. Those storms are definitely windy. You can see the backwards C shape to them. There's also embedded hail in those storms upwards of around an inch in diameter. So severe thunderstorm warnings do continue for portions of the area. That's what's going on right now. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Once again, I invite you to share your reports here on Facebook. I sure appreciate the follows on Facebook as well. So if you're on my page watching, well, head on over to my main page part and click on that follow button. That does help me out a great deal, and pass the word. Hutch is still here doing weather. And you know what? I don't get a chance to go this long and visit with this many of you in the morning hours. So good morning. I hope your day is off to a good start. Stay away from the windows this morning, and don't send the kids out to the bus stop during these severe thunderstorm warnings. If they do continue, wait till those storms pass, because the wind can topple trees and cause some damage. Wind is going to be the main threat, along with some pockets of hail here and there. And I am really going to be concerned today about flooding rains pushing their way through, with multiple storms training through areas that have already been inundated with quite a bit of rain here over the last 24 hours. So for now, I'm going to check out, but I do want to remind you that Hutch's Weather and hutchesweather.com is a great place for you to share your reports once they're done. Show us pictures of your rain gauge there. Show us pictures of any hail, or, if you did get some wind damage from those windy storms in and around the Grand Forks area, that'll be helpful for you to pass on to us as well. Let's see here, just updating a couple things while we're letting you look at this radar here. I'll pop that radar back up for you. The Weather Service says Crookston's warning is based on a couple of inches of rain, and further rain or more rain expected in the next few hours here. So we could see another couple of inches of rain from there. I'm not seeing a lot of reports here from the Weather Service on current events with regards to these storm warnings. That's sometimes a good sign, but it's also a sign that people are just waking up. They're not outside to look at hail. They're not outside to measure the wind gusts or see what's going on, since it's still dark 30 out here. So again, as you wake up, if you see tree damage or limb damage, snap a picture, upload it to hutchesweather.com. I would sure appreciate it. But for now, I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. I am going to check out, but until next time, I want you to stay tuned and stay safe right here. I'll keep you updated. Storms are heading back into Grand Forks now. In central Grand Forks County, they are severe, and also moving through Polk and Red Lake counties as severe storms. Wind, the main threat; hail, a secondary threat, to up to 1 inch